If this is your very first time, we welcome you. We welcome you to our Wakanda Nation, to our family. This is the Diamond Factor, where we come together with like minded individuals to get our morning started. And this Wednesday, is just like all the other Wednesdays, where we get informed and inspired because we have the coach of all coaches. We have one of our leaders. He is so dynamic, in such demand. Guys, sometimes we just don't know what we have in our midst. And Coach Dan is just that individual because he's phenomenal. He's in great demand all over the country, all over the world, actually, and helping so many corporations and churches and ministries and anyone who pays the price. But we get all of this on Wednesdays for free. So listen, you got to take advantage of it, and not only on Wednesday, but even in the afternoon, 6:30 time period when he shares out the nuggets. So I'm going to get out the way. I hope you got your pen and paper. I hope you're ready for all these nuggets that he's going to drop. He drops the mic. Coach Dan, are you out there?
Good morning. Good morning. It is so wonderful to be with my Wakanda family on this morning. I trust that you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful start of your day and a wonderful midweek. You've had a great week thus far. For those of you that had a great week, then come on and finish strong and even have a better one. For those of you that your week has started off a little slow, it hasn't been as fantastic as you want it to be. Um, Change that narrative today. Change that narrative today. Now, listen, I want to talk to you guys really, really from a strong, strong business perspective. Um, as all of you know, I coach businesses, and I was having a conversation, to be frank, with my wife, who desires to open up a medical spa. My wife's been practicing family medicine for the past 20 something years, and she wants to open up a medical spa. And so she's been piddling around, going through all of these processes, what have you. And she and I was talking, and she came to me and she said, "Hey, what do you think? Should I get a loan?" And I said, "Get a loan for what?" She said, "The startup cost for the medical spa." And I said, "Well, how much are you going to, what is the startup cost?" And she just started naming, "Well, I may need this, I may need this." I said, "Show it to me." She couldn't show it to me. I said, "What else would you use the loan for?" She said, "Well, my rent is going to be about $3,000 a month and this, that, and the other. And so instead of pulling money from our personal accounts, I'll just, fund it through the loan." I said, "Well, here's the concern. Why are we doing something for 3,000 a month? Why would you sign a lease for 3,000 a month? Have you begin to build your brand? We could go get a different space. We could almost buy a building." And so I began to really walk her through this process because she's practiced family medicine and I've ran business. And I'm sharing this with you because many of us, well, before I even share that, I had another scenario whereby um, a church that I am consulting, they they have these great ideas, but their rollouts are not good. So they're converting one of their buildings to like a chat, like the chat room, where people can come from all walks of life and have discussion about life. And it's a coffee house, it's all of this stuff, and it's a great, great idea. Well, they came up with the idea 2 weeks ago. And then immediately, they came up with it 2 weeks ago. Watch this. And then 2 weeks later, they say they're going to release it. And you have to register to attend and all of that. Well, I got an email that said we only have 8 registrations. What should we do? And this is a mega church. I said part of the challenge is you don't spend enough time in strategically planning. You get excited about the destination without properly map questing the journey. And some of us here at Wakana we do the same. We get so excited about the opportunity that we don't necessarily pay attention and plan what is necessary in order to take full advantage of the opportunity. So you paid to get in the room, but you're not taking advantage of being there, and you're not seeing the return because you have not taken the time to understand how it's going to build. And what happens is, as you're building, it's not moving as fast as it could or it should have, but that's because we didn't work the plan. We didn't plan our work and work the plan. We just got excited about work and we went to work. Let me say that again. We didn't plan our work. Sit down, count up the cost. What is it going to take? Plan our work and begin to work the plan. We just begin to work. And so because we just begin to work, a lot of us may sometimes feel like we are spinning our wheels. And every person that is successful in this company is a person that is successful because they have a strategic plan of success. They see their success. You should be able to see your success from the beginning. You should be able to know what the end is going to look like from the beginning. All right, I told on the church, I told on my wife. Now, let me tell on Coach Dan. Coach Dan secured a 7-figure contract. I secured a 7-figure contract. And in this 7-figure contract that I secured, literally what took place was we had a group of guys that can actually fulfill what the contract called for. However, what I did not know was that the process of the experts were different than the process for those that were just good. Y'all gonna catch this in a minute. The process of the experts were different from the process of those, are y'all listening, where it's just good. It's a different process. And because it is a different process, here is what you must understand. What you must understand is the experts have techniques and strategies that make them the experts, which make them more efficient than those that just know how to do it and they're pretty good at it. So what does that look like? Well, when we began to start on the account, it was taking a 2-man crew, let's say about, and without giving all of these nuts and bolts and details and spending time with that, it'd take a 2-man crew a full day to facilitate 3 openings. And when they're done, the client loves it. Everybody's happy. The problem is how much that particular 3 openings paid opposed to how much we paid out of our pocket was showing a loss. And the first series of jobs, we were seeing this loss. And I said, what is happening? So I met with the client, $1 billion client. I met with the client and I say, this is what we're seeing. This is not profitable. He said, well, our best crew that's facilitating this process that are experts, the best crew, listen to what the language is now, you guys, does 11 openings a day. And we were only doing 3. And that's when they began to tell us about the techniques, the experts, and how the experts do it. And so what I have to do now is scale all the way back, begin to retrain those that were good to see if we can make them experts, and then interview experts and see if I can hire experts to facilitate the account so that it can be profitable. Now, here's the deal. My partner is at the point where he says, man, Dan, this doesn't seem profitable, but I'm the majority partner. So at the end of the day, it's my choice. But he wanted me to consider pulling out of the account. And that's what happens to us, even in Wakana. We put in the strategies that we think will work because we're pretty good at what we do in whatever our space is. If we're a gatherer, we're a pretty good gatherer. We're pretty good, recruiter for customers. But the truth of the matter is not that what we have don't work. It's just that we have not mastered the techniques where it can work some more successfully for us. And what I need you to understand, and they talk about there's three kinds of training. There's a training that deals with your mindset, and I tell you all the time, I'm either going to deal with your mind, your grind, or your time. This here, if you don't understand this, we could give you all the technical pieces in the world, but if you don't strategically understand the process and why the strategy is the strategy, you won't be able to implement the techniques. And even if you don't implement the techniques, if you come up against something that you didn't plan for or wasn't part of the technique, you won't know how to respond. You come up against an SCO. What is SCO? Standard Client Objection. And so this morning, what I want you to do is, I've been saying it, I want you to make certain that your plan is a plan that's based on what some of the experts have been saying and teaching, which is in our Sales Academy training and all of those things, and make certain that the end result of that plan is going to take you to where you desire to be. That's what we need to make certain of. And if we see that something is not working, make certain that it's not a user error first before you disregard it. Because some of us have tried and it didn't work. I know, because I talked to y'all. And in the conversation, we realized, oh, you said this, you did that, which altered what the intent or the initial aspect of why we gave you those instructions in the first place. Now, we're going to continue to help. We're going to continue to help. There's big announcements coming with our Wakana Success Academy. I was on a almost two-hour call yesterday regarding that. It's getting ready to go down, where we're going to continue to go to the next level. As a corporation, we're going to continue to go to the next level. I'm going to continue to go to the next level as your VP of Training and Development. I'm going to become better. All of us are going to become better because, and we are going to put a demand on you to become better. We're going to put a demand on you to become better. Well, listen, I'm not done, but it's time to stop. Again, as I think I shared with you guys, I'm in tonight I close out this financial literacy series that I'm doing. So I'll jump on for about 15 minutes or so. I apologize for last week. I was on, or at least I was seeking to get on, and for some reason I could not get in. Some of you text me and said, hey, what's going on? I couldn't answer as to what was going on because I did not get in. I was not able to get in either. So we'll make certain that we look to work those out, and we'll come back with 15 minutes of power. And then again, I got to transition because tonight I will be live. I will be live on site closing out this financial literacy series that we were doing. Listen, I want y'all to have a supernaturally Wakana kind of day. I want you to have a fantabulous day. And I want you to listen to what I want you to do. I want you to plan your work and work your plan. Don't just go out there and work without a plan, because I promise you it's not going to work. Talk to you later. Until next time, as always, prosper.